Hello everyone and welcome back to another Wizard101 video. Today, I am tired. I just took a shower. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm going to be going over a recommendation I got in the comments, and that is how to solo quest in Wizard101. Now, I'm going to divide this into two sections. I'm going to divide it into early game, and I'm going to divide it into late game. Now, early game is much easier to solo, in my opinion, than late game. And by late game, I mean about Avalon to Chrysalis. Polaris starts getting easier again. Imperia is a bit difficult. Once again, like that's kind of how the difficulty curve goes. It goes up and then, or it goes like kind of flat, then up, then down, then back up again. That's besides the point. Let's get into it. So, first tip as a early game wizard, I'm going to start with the early game, is you need gold. And if you don't know how to get gold, I would recommend going to Grizzleheim, asking someone to teleport you in Halfang. There will be someone there at all times. People farm gold all the time. Add them as a friend. Ask, hey, can I teleport in to Halfang with you because I want a gold farm, but I'm too low level to go in. If you're that low level, if you're like level 40, just quest up to that point and get it. But that can be incredibly useful for farming gold. Now you may be asking, Noah, why do you want gold? Well, there's a few things. First off, you can buy a permanent mount for gold. So if you don't already have a mount, get the 50,000 gold pony right here, which can be super useful in questing if you don't already have a mount. So that's first thing. Second thing, and this is probably the bigger thing, is enchants. Now, if you don't know what I mean by that, ask someone to bring you to the Arcanum. Someone will. There's some nice high levels. Go to this guy, Librarian Fitzhume, go to the treasure card, and buy Monstrous. Now, if you don't know, basically what these are treasure cards that you can put on your normal cards to boost the damage. Enchants exist in this game normally, but you can get treasure card ones, which you can use at a lower level from Wizard City all the way up to Dragonspire. These are so useful. I cannot stress how much. It makes soloing so much easier. If you've seen my Balance Let's Play series, you know I use these all the time. It's so useful. And the reason for that is that, basically, think of it like this. So if you're a Storm, right, Thundersnake does what? 105 to 135 damage, right? With this enchant, it does about 260 to 300 damage, which if you don't understand, that is such a drastic increase. It does more than lightning bats for 1 pip. And that's enough damage to one-shot most of the enemies in Wizard City and Krokotopia. That's not even counting lightning bats, which does like 370 damage plus, which is crazy and fantastic. So get enchants as your earliest convenience. They're so useful and they're really cheap, honestly. You can see for 38,000 gold right here, which is very doable early game. That's very, very easily gotten if you just farm Mount Olympus or you just farm and sell gear. You can get about 150, which will take you through about 3 worlds. I can't stress enough how important that is. But now I'm going to go into the tips for not only, this is more early and later game, how to solo through the worlds of Avalon to Chrysalis. Now, I would like to say it's much easier than it used to be. The enemies used to have 20% additional health than they currently do, and the crit system is not as easy as was not as easy as it currently is, but now it's actually pretty good. So I would recommend, if you can, quest up now before they change the crit system and screw everything up somehow. So, what to do? First off, make sure you train up to Faint and Death. That is so important. You can do it at level 26. Faint is going to be one of your most useful spells in this entire game. Plus 70% damage is crazy. So get that. Second thing, at level 50, get the Jewel of the Faint, which gives you 2 Faint treasure cards that are plus 75. Now you may be asking, why do I need that if I already have Faint? They stack. So that means that you can use not only this Faint, but the other Faint, doing plus 140% damage, which is crazy. I can't stress how much percent damage that is. That will make your spells do so much more. The best strategy, without a doubt, for bosses from Avalon up to Chrysalis is Faint, Faint again, Blade, if you have a double blade, Blade, and then you use your tier 7 spell. So what I mean by that is that in most boss fights, there's the boss and the minion. So you're going to be wanting to use things like Fire Dragon, Stormlord, Ice Giant, what's Myth? Orthrus, Power Nova. I got like 4 or 5. I don't know what schools I'm missing. I'm missing something. It's besides the point. Forest Lord. Is that all of... No, and then Scarecrow. There we go. That's all of them. So you're going to be wanting to use that a lot. If you're a Death, you're going to have an easy time. Like a super easy time. Scarecrow makes the game so easy with the health back thing. It's just really easy. Get near tonight if you can, but you don't need it. Oh, excuse me. For the rest of the schools, that is important. Is to get that double feint, double blade strategy. Now, you may be asking, how do I get a second blade? Well, a lot of things actually give you a second blade. I know that a lot of pets do. I would recommend that as your #1 option. A lot of the level 118 pets give this other blade. You can blade stack at that point. Double feint, double blade should be enough to basically kill any boss in Azteca or Chrysalis. But also you want to get the gear. You want to get Darkmoor gear. That's incredibly important at level 100 for finishing the rest of Chrysalis. But that's really the most important hint I can give you. Now you may be wondering, like, how does this... it's still difficult, you may think. But if you have the right deck setup, if you play your cards right, you're going to have an easier time. A significantly easy time. Now, that's going to be my next hint, is please do a good deck setup. What I mean by this is, if you look at my boss deck, okay, let me just put on my boss deck and look at it right here. You can see I have 12 cards in my boss deck. I've seen people that have a full deck, which you should never have in PvE, ever. Trust me when I say, if you have more than, say, 20 spells in your deck, you're going to have such a difficult time. And the reason for that is that first round, you draw 7 cards, right? If those 7 cards aren't the one you need to discard those cards to get to the spells you need, which is using valuable rounds in awful ways, like passing. So, what to do? This is the deck I would recommend. I'm going to build it for you right here, all right? So you want the single feint. You want your amulet feint down here. That's 1. Second feint, #2. There you go. If you're in Azteca, you want Potent Trap and Feint. There you go. That's 4 total. Now you want your tier 7 spell. That's 1, or that's another 1. Enchant, another 1. Blade, and then other blade. That's gonna actually be 8. But you might want another attack in there because you might not kill first round. So I would put another attack. And then say put, I don't know, like, I would probably put like a higher level attack, like maybe Ifrit in case the boss lives. But that right there is good enough if I unlock this and then just pretend that's feint right there. That is a deck of 8-10, which means that it is super likely that you're going to draw at least one thing that you need that round because... as I said, you want a double blade, you want a double feint, possibly triple feint. That means that there's such a high likelihood that you'll get, honestly, it's a 100% chance that you will get at least a blade or a trap that you can use so you don't waste a valuable round. And the reason why you might be asking, like, how do you get 100% from that? Well, if you look, you have 2 enchants there, a potent trap there, and 2 attacks. So if you somehow drew all of these, it would still only be 5 out of 7, which means that the feint and blades would be possible to draw. So there you go. That's what I'd recommend as a deck setup. And please do buy a second deck, an attack deck that has Meteor Strikes or whatever your equivalent tier 4 spell is. I put the tier 6 Shadow spell in just in case I gain a Shadow Pip, but you don't have to. At an early level, you can just replace that with another Meteor Strike. Trust me, this deck setup right here is super good because you have the sharpened blade, the other blade, and then the 3 attacks with the 3 enchants. This makes it so that at worst, first round, if you draw all 6 of these, you still draw a 7th Meteor Strike, so you can still hit first round. That's what I look for in decks, is a deck that makes it so that I never waste a round, and that is what you should look for as well in a deck. So that's all the hints I'm going to give you for today. I think that a lot of these are useful, extremely useful. I don't know if everyone will agree with me. I think they will, but let me tell you, it's just incredibly important to make a deck that's incredibly useful and follow some of these tips. That's going to be all for today. If you have any more tips for soloing, add them in the comment section below, but I think I got most of them. The only other thing people might recommend is shields, but I would not recommend shields because I'm an attack player. But that's beside the point. So that's it for today. If you enjoyed, drop a like at the sub button, and I will see you in the next video. Fantastic day. Thank you all for watching.